Hey, hold on, wait. Let me see. I'm probably have to hop back in real quick. Hold on, let me see if I can flip my camera. I can change it. Yes, sir. Hey, connections and relationships are so important.
Why you
Literally
say
thought
that,
about
bro?
saying that right now. So I just got off the phone with one of my OGs, one of my mentor, literally just met him. Super cool dude. Um, made a relationship with him last week. He was at my car dealership. I helped him out with some service. The
Hmm.
way that the dude carry himself, I know that he's a boss. The way that he moved, the way that he take care of his wife, the way that he take care of his family. So I asked him if he offered mentorship. He said yes, and we had went out Saturday. Picked me up in the drop top vet, went to the dream cruise, took me out to eat. Learned a lot from the guy. He talked to me about relationships, and I now have the opportunity to be able to serve him and help him out with another relationship at my occupation, in the car world. So, it's really cool being able to develop relationships, help people with things, being able to connect with like-minded individuals so y'all can grow together, do stuff, get it popping for real. So I'm just really excited about continuing to build solid relationships. Even when I was with him, I seen him build solid relationships, even with simple interactions like the waitresses at the restaurant that we was at. It's a great thing.
No, that's big facts, bro. That I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like everything, and this is the crazy part, bro. Everything from like a football standpoint, like it was all connections. Like, of course, I was a phenomenal athlete, but at the same time, it was the connections that allowed me to be able to showcase my athleticism when the athleticism wasn't gonna get me through the door. You feel what I'm saying?
Ooh,
It's so crazy because and the crazy thing is a lot of times me not being able to get through the door with my athleticism had nothing to it had nothing to do with my athleticism. It was just the fact, low key, that I didn't have representation half the time. Like half of the teams will ask me, like, do you have a lawyer? And I'll be like, no, I'm representing myself right now. And off the rip, they either feel like you're not serious or they feel like you aren't good enough to get someone who will believe in what you're doing. You feel what I'm saying? So
mm,
off the rip, who you hang out with and who speaks for you can be the difference between you getting $1 million contract and you sitting on the couch.
bro, that's 100. That's the biggest deal because a lot of times people they have a great product, they have good talent, they have good skills, they're a great rapper, but
Mm-hmm.
who eyes are going in front of that product?
Yep.
And it's going to take sometimes relationships. Those relationships are going to get you in the doors when you already have the talent, and that talent won't get you there.
Big facts, brother. Big facts.
And I'm excited because that's really what we're talking about today.
Man,
The title of the podcast for today is finding a money mentor. When it comes to mentorship, that's a connection, that's a relationship. Like we've been saying, that relationships, it can get you into doors and rooms that you never would have been a part of.
man, and the crazy thing about that, understanding that the relationships that you may have in your life may come from you investing in them. Like for instance,
Facts.
I like you were talking about a mentor first. Well, I have a financial advisor. So like I pay my financial advisor $200 a month just to watch my finances and show me when I can take advantage of certain parts of the market. You feel what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So it's important to have certain connections because what I don't know, what I'm not watching, like I got, what I'm saying? We got jobs. So on the times where we're working and we don't have the time to kind of watch a certain market or study a certain company or do a certain thing that would allow us to be able to, acquire more revenue and more passive income streams or whatever the case may be, I'm paying somebody to always check back in with me and tap in with me and you know what I'm saying and lock in with me when it comes to a finance standpoint. So
Facts.
that or just being able to be humble enough to say, hey, look, I'm hungry to go to the next level. And to be honest, right now was what I'm doing. Not that it may not be working, but I may just need a little bit more push to get me to the next step. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So man, I swear, getting a money mentor and just getting a mentor in general, because I think, as you know, having someone who is holding you accountable for your movement and what you do and how you do it, allows you to make more money. If someone's telling you, hey man, get your ass up on Tuesday, you know what I'm saying, and, and,
Yeah,
and,
right,
and do
right.
such and such that you said you was going to do, then that's the person that may very well help you be consistent so that you could continue to build a product that people can trust in, or people, you know what I'm saying, enjoy, or whatever the case may be. You might need 5, 6, 10 reps a day in order to develop that product. And you may need that person to say, hey man, I know you just spoke to me about such and such, how's that coming along? Are you being consistent at it? And you know what I'm saying? If you're not, that's gonna put, yeah, hopefully you wouldn't lie to your mentor, because that's, you know what I'm saying, that's how it's a waste of your money and time. You know what I'm saying? But
Facts.
he'll be able to put you back in perspective of what's important towards the goals that you provided for him.
And now we could talk about the people that actually do not have the funds or don't feel like that they should be investing in someone physically, or if they cannot find someone currently. If you cannot find a mentor physically, someone to talk to, you can read a book. This is mentorship.
Man.
You can listen to a podcast. This right here is mentorship. You can listen to an audiobook or listen to an interview. That's also mentorship. You see, when it comes to mentorship, it's you actually valuing the information from that person
Mm,
because they are somewhere that you would like to be, and you actually taking that information and applying it. You see,
yep.
it's a lot of people that can listen to Nipsey Hussle interviews and quotes all day, but are you actually applying what Nipsey was
Hmm.
talking about? And that's
Yep.
the important thing. Nipsey isn't here today. Napoleon Hill isn't here today, but we can still listen to these guys' influence from what they did, from how they spoke, and how their mind was exact to articulate their thoughts and how they were thinking and actually apply those things in our life to reap the benefit.
No, big facts. And even just as important, making sure that we are having someone in our life that shifts our mindset. You know what I'm saying? It may
Facts.
take you a while to apply, just because it may be a conversation that you've never had before. But now,
Hmm.
with you continuing to be around someone or carry yourself or listen to, like, I can't help when I'm listening to Eric Thomas and he's like, hey, make sure that you are getting up and you're doing this and you're doing this and you're doing that. And if you ain't doing this, you're not giving 100% to your family. Like, if you hear that don't make you like be like, okay, let me let me
Right.
I'm grabbing bags. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I'm like, God damn, like I'm waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning because I'm like, damn, if he did it, I better do something. And one thing that even he said that I thought was huge, he was like, you don't gotta wake up at 3 o'clock like me, but figure out your 3 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And when he says
Right.
figure out your 3 o'clock, he means figure out what works for you to make you most efficient. He wakes up at 3 o'clock because he gets up, he prays, he meditates, he sits on the word, like he locks into that. Then he gets into his work. And then when he gets into his work, he's finished with his work before people even wake up. So he
We're
can
talking eight,
rest while
9 in the
everybody else is
morning.
scrambling because he gets up before everybody else and gets it done before everybody else.
Wow.
Imagine following behind somebody like that and learning from somebody like that. Those is the cheat codes. Because at the end of the day, the success comes through the loopholes, not necessarily through, like, we all know we've worked hard for years. How many people in the plant back hurt right now? You know what I'm saying? But when it comes
Yeah.
to learning how to work smart to where they're able to maximize all their time and all their money, you know what I'm saying? That's a different story. So learning from smart individuals who put in smart strategies and systems to make their life run more efficiently, those are the guys to be getting behind.
Facts. Facts. Now, today, like we said, we're coming at you about how to find a money mentor. Now, when it comes to mentorship, there's different ways of mentorship, as we stated. You have one on one mentorship, you have mentorship through podcasts, you have mentorship through interviews. You can find mentorship actually through a church, you can find mentorship through your football coaches or whatever sports coaches that you may have. Find mentorship through your relationships within your family. You can also find mentorship through the internet, reading different blogs,
Yeah,
doing different research about different people, watching documentaries, learning exactly about how people and how they live their lives. When it
yes,
comes
sir.
to this mentorship, me personally, I started to do personal development back in 2019. No, 2019, back in 2013. Like in 2013, I first started listening to a dude named Darren Hardy. Darren Hardy, he created this book called The Compound Effect. I went to actually see Darren Hardy live at a conference in Columbus, Ohio, with thousands of other
Ooh.
people. Phenomenal experience, you know. And from there, he actually prepped my mind to get
Yes.
ready to take in more information from others to grow myself. So
Yep.
that's what we want to help you out with today. We want to share different individuals that has opened up our mind and expanded our mind in a financial literacy way that
Ooh.
we've been able to apply these things and actually get results from it and live a better quality of life. So tap in with these people that we're sharing and also find people that are on this level too that you
Yep.
can learn from it. And when you are applying the information that they're giving you, I swear your life will change.
Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. You really hit it on the nose with that one, man. Because at the end of the day, like we talk about, bro, like you can't go anywhere that you don't know about. You know what I'm saying? And that's like what I heard that one time, and I'm like, duh. You know what I'm saying? But then I had to sit back and think about it, and I'm like, whoever wanted to go to a Disney World if their parents didn't say nothing about it, or if their friends what didn't come back to school and was like, hey, I went to Disney World for summertime, and you thinking like, damn, what, mama, what the hell? Like what? Where's our Disney? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but think about it, you wasn't thinking about Disney World until you heard about it. You feel what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with this information and with this education and with financial literacy and just any type of information when it comes to personal development. It's about really just making sure that you're being exposed to the next level because I don't want what I ain't never seen. Like I only wanted to be Deion Sanders because I cut on TV and I've seen Deion Sanders scoring touchdowns in stadiums with 100,000 people. But I didn't know the process up to getting to that 100,000 fan stadium was a
Right.
2,000 fan stadium and a 6,000 fan
Right.
stadium and a 10,000 fan stadium and a 15,000 and a 20 and then a 60 and then 100. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I didn't know about the 100 until, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's important that we find those, like bro said, find those mentors that have been where we are, like who are better, who do better. One of the main things, and I can't say who came up with this quote, but I know it's one of the best quotes that I've ever heard is if you the smartest person in the room, then you in the wrong room. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's like you know what I'm saying? Like seriously. So it's like when it comes to picking a mentor, find somebody that can say, hey, okay, you got that check. You said you paid this. You said you paid this. Bet. Now put your money in this and do this every single time, every single month, every year for the next 20 years. You feel what I'm saying?
Facts.
And nobody can teach you that but someone who has reached that next step because that's the next step. If you're not making those steps right now, if you're not making consistent steps and investments, then that's the next step. And someone is going to have to guide you in that process. And that's okay to wait for that person to guide you, but make sure, like bro said, once you get that guidance, that you apply it.
Facts. And sometimes, you're going to have to listen to the information over and
Yep.
over and over again.
Yep.
There's levels. The
Yep.
first thing, the first thing that I actually want to talk about, first and foremost, before I even get to the brother Dennis Kimbrough, is a guy that made a huge impact on my life and my mind. This has to do with financial literacy. It all has to do with learning. And when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to learning, there's a four-step process and stages of learning. The first stage
Ooh.
is being unconsciously incompetent. That's not knowing that you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Unconsciously incompetent. You do not know what you don't know. And when it comes to a lot of things in this financial game, when it comes to a lot of things in economics and anything in this world, you don't know what you don't know. And you want to move from I don't know what I don't know, unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence. You
Mm-hmm.
now want to know and have the knowledge that there's some things that you don't know about, and that's okay. And when you
Put that
know that
again,
there's
bro.
some things that you don't know about, it's called conscience incompetence. Conscience incompetence is the fact that you know that you don't know some things. I know that there are some things that I don't know about credit. I know that there are some things that I don't know about economics. I know there are some things that I don't know about the Fed. unconscious, I mean conscious incompetence. Be the step before that being unconscious competence. I was unconsciously incompetent at the fact that let's see something. What's something that I was unconsciously incompetent about before? I guess
I was gonna say,
credit
man, them damn
in
credit
general.
cards, bro. Like
You know what I'm
we
saying?
talked
Credit.
about
I didn't
that.
know how credit worked at all, like at all. And so you want to move from not knowing at all to knowing that you don't know to actually knowing this thing, but you have to think about it to do it.
Cause
When it comes to budgeting the right way, you have to think about how to use your budget the right way first. And after thinking about it, that's being called consciously competent. Consciously competent is the next level. That's the third level, being consciously competent. And when you're consciously competent, you get to use that information, but you actually have to think about it in order to use it. But you want to go from conscious competence from unconscious competence. Unconscious competence is the level that you want to be at with the last level of learning. Because with unconscious competence, you don't even have to think about it to do it. It is you. It's a part of you. Saving is a part of you. Getting assets is a part of you.
mm-hmm.
Taking care of your family and providing is a part of you. Following your budget to a T and using your money for the right way, it's a part of you. But
Yes,
some
sir.
people didn't know that they were supposed to have an emergency fund. And it was unconsciously incompetent about having an emergency fund.
No, for real.
So that's the first thing that I want to leave you all with.
And
Those four levels of learning.
I think that was crazy about what you said was that unconsciously incompetent. And that is a dangerous stage to be in. And like when I think about being unconsciously incompetent, is thinking about or maybe even being consciously competent. Both of those two are kind of still dangerous. Conscious becomes better because it's like, okay, at least I kind of know what's going on, and it kind of sparks that interest to where it's like, I may kind of jump on it, you know what I'm saying, if I kind of know what's going on. But
Right.
to not know means I can't even execute on it. So like you were saying, when we talk about a credit thing, I say for the longest, I thought that having a credit card means that it was gonna mess up your credit. Like, yeah, how many people start talking
Mhm.
about your utilization and don't run my credit. But
Yep.
it's something that I listen to while I've been listening to the audio book Broke Millennials right now, and
Mm.
something that she said on there that was huge was, why would you build your credit just to not use it? So what she said was that she said a lot of people treat credit like a trophy. They want to build the credit score. They want to build the credit score. They want to say what score they have. But at the end of the day, if you get to a 750 credit score, but you don't do any inquiries because you don't want to knock your credit score down, that is the complete opposite of what credit is for. So
Mhm.
understanding that you're going to build your credit score up and then you're going to knock it back down, but the fact that you just got $50,000 in funding, that's what we're building the credit score for. Because what you should be
Facts.
taking that money for is assets anyway. You shouldn't be taking that $50,000 loan and going and getting the Lexus truck for 40 and then spending that other 10 on Gucci purses. You know what I'm
And that
saying?
goes and to piggyback off of that, that goes with previously before talking about being uh being unconsciously incompetent. I
Hmm.
was unconsciously incompetent about the fact that there was something called good debt.
Yep.
Don't go into debt. Don't go into debt. Don't take $100,000 loan to go into school. But if you can get $100,000 loan to get an apartment complex, it's called good debt.
Okay.
Because that $100,000 that you're going to get for that apartment complex yields you millions of dollars. That's called good debt. You only took on that debt so you can make more money than that debt gave you at that time.
And I tell you, bro, and this is, man, people fight me all the time or they argue with me all the time about this, bro. But I'm one to say that I tell you what, that $100,000 on college, to me, that's even good debt, because guess what? For a guy like me, before I ever went to college, I couldn't even have an educated conversation. Like, I didn't have any facts, I didn't have any true details that would allow me to be able to sit in front of a scholar and say, look, I think that you should do this, or I think that I should do this, or I think that we should do this, or I think that this. I am an active member in society because I hold this type of information. And understanding that
Mm,
having no knowledge or no information makes you not useful in the community. It makes you not useful in the area that you're in. If you only talking about what you feel and what you think, then that doesn't allow a real system to work, because systems don't work
that's
off
so
feeling.
true.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I want people to change the way they think about school. Now, can you get education from certain, smaller, smaller, like, what do you call it, like trades and stuff like that, where you're not in school for, 4 years, so smaller terms. When I say smaller, I mean terms over time. You know what I'm saying? Term meaning the time in which you're in school for, a smaller term in which you're in school. So maybe you in school for two, well, maybe a year and a half, or maybe you in school for only
Yeah,
5 months.
little 2 year real quick.
Yeah,
Get
or
a little
maybe you do a
certificate,
5 month
keep
and
them
you get a
cooling.
certificate. You feel what I'm saying? And you take that certificate and you can walk right in a certain job and say, hey, because I got my certificate, you can only pay me this. And granted, what we're working for, financial freedom, meaning time, meaning at some point in time, we want to be without a job, but at the same time, if we can go get a job that pays us well, then we can use that income to start becoming financially free. Because at the end of the day, you got to have income to become financially free. You can't just out of nowhere just start getting funding. That's just not how. I wish that's how it worked. Okay, because
Facts.
you know
A
what I'm
lot of
saying.
people nowadays that make hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars, most of them these days, they have a job.
Yep,
They work for a tech company or they
yep,
work for a company that pays them a lot of money.
yep.
And guess what they end up doing with that a lot of money? They take it, they
Investing.
buy assets, and they become entrepreneurs and
Yep,
they're paid equity,
yep.
which equity is ownership and you're getting percentages of what you own.
On top of, by the time you get that education, you can start getting jobs that give you more freedom so that you're able to do your thing and their thing. You feel what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You get that job that, that, man, when you're not working, you got downtime, and they not tripping on your downtime. They're not trying to, clock you to see what you're doing. When you get that certain education, those type of jobs come around. You know what I'm saying? But when you don't
Yeah, they
have
do.
that education, it's the jobs that's like, look, you can't breathe. You can't bend over and pick your pencil up unless you letting us know. You feel what I'm saying? And those usually come from jobs that don't have much education behind them, and that's why they're able to control the narrative of that job so
Stand
much.
here, do this all day. I
Come
need a
on,
thousand of these made. If you go to the bathroom, you better not be in there all day.
and you
Like
gotta let us know.
facts.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like you being clocked on everything, so you're never able to really do your own thing. So also remember, the investment that you put into your knowledge can very well dictate how you're able to do your thing as far as becoming financially free. And
Hmm.
I've learned that myself and learning my own. You know what I'm saying? Learning from my own experiences. So that's
But
done. Just
Quan, when it comes down to it, um, on the money mentor side, who is someone that's helped turn you up mentally wise on the financial aspect? Who do
Ooh.
you want to share with us, man? What you got?
Ah, man, so this is somebody that that I really study, and I really lock into. 19 keys, man. 19 keys.
Oh
I
yeah,
would
solid brother.
man, I would say that he's just finance, but he allows, well, this is the thing, and this is what I'm starting to learn about finance. Finance is a lot more about who you are as a person and not how your finances are. So, through studying 19 Keys, I learned a lot more about who I am as far as being a man and what I value versus what should be valued, or what is lucrative to be valued in. Because he may value something based on what his morals and his principles are. I may value something based on what my morals and principles are. He may like to get rich more. I may like to spend time with my family more. But overall, the principles that he aligns with, they also align with my principles. So I'm
Hmm.
able to really lock into what it is that he talks about and what it is he studies and what it is he does in his community and with finance. He talks a lot about cryptocurrency. He talks a lot about the stock market. He talks a lot about gold. He actually has a lot of products in gold. And he just talks about, investment in, number one, understanding the world, understanding that if you know what's going on in the world, if you understand what's going on with your country's natural resources and with
Mm,
little things like that, then you're able to understand why the market does certain things. He gets you hip so many times on why certain markets go up and down based on what wars are happening in certain countries. Certain wars dictate our economy. You know what I'm saying?
facts.
Certain, you know what I'm saying? Certain interactions between our leaders and other leaders make certain things go up and down. You got to know if the people that we get oil from get into an argument with Mr. Biden, guess what? The oil prices is going up because they're getting ready to shut it down for a little bit. They're getting ready to
Hmm.
make some, you know what I'm saying, make it happen on some different levels. So it's important when you picking a leader that you know what I'm saying, that you following behind or not following behind, but that you studying and that you learning from is understanding what their principles are. Because if they don't have good principles, but they make a lot of money, they could lead you in the wrong direction. Because if their foundation isn't right, then although they may be making money, they may throw you off because what their end goal is may not be your end goal. And if you're following somebody with a different end goal, sometimes it can throw you off.
100%. I want to agree and piggyback because you want to really be able to take in information on a mentorship level from people that the people that were where you are and the people that are where you're going.
Yes, sir. And that's the crazy the crazy part about it is imagine how many, like, let's think about it this way. And I always use football because we both were football players and we both had great careers in football, and it's something that we're able to speak on with detail. If I'm trying to get, now don't get it twisted, I can learn from anybody. But if I'm trying to become the best corner in the world, I'm not gonna go see Coach K.
Facts. Yeah, bro. I always love that analogy. If I
You
wanted
feel
to
what
be a
I'm saying?
great quarterback, I'm not about to go talk to Tiger Woods.
Because he utilizes good hip movement, which quarterbacks also do. But at the same time, can I learn from Tiger Woods and what he does? Of course. Of
Yes.
course. But understanding that when we're trying to get to a certain place, we're trying to make certain changes. We're trying to see where our habits align with certain habits that they do, put them together, and then kind of get it to go forward. We gotta kind of follow somebody or get behind somebody who's living the way we were living at one time. Like I like to watch Wall Street Trapper as well, because Wall Street Trapper, he's somebody that comes from the same type of areas that we're from an economic background um, level, and from a from a, you know what I'm saying, from a racial standpoint and culture standpoint, but also, you know what I'm saying, just in certain lifestyles. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
connect with them in a way in which I'm able to, in which with my brand, I love to maintain who I am, but push my brand in a business like mindset, so I can still be myself, but push my brand in a way in which I can still make money. And Wall Street Trapper, I mean, at the end of the day, we all connect. We all know when we hear trap, what we connect that to. But he was able to
Yeah.
still push his brand in a positive way based on his system. So I follow Wall Street Trapper because I coexist with some of those same habits, but at the same time, I'm trying to push a different mindset, so I'm able to learn from him on what systems he uses to develop people and still be positive and be in a positive light.
Facts. 100%. 100%. I mean, honestly, going off that, um, I want to now actually. I was about to talk about Dennis Kimbrough, but now I want to talk about the people that actually introduced me. Oh, we got a question. We got a question.
Definitely, definitely. I seen
Oh yeah, yeah.
a lot of growth out of you when you started working with Steph. It was good for you, and it was able to push you to the next level and get you a mindset that, you know what I'm saying, that allows you to be long lasting. So I'm happy for you. I'm happy you got a chance to get a mentor that got you, you know, that's getting you to where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, what I was about to talk about is actually the guys that introduced me to Wall Street Trapper. The guys that introduced me to Wall Street Trapper back in 2019, before the pandemic started, it was the guys that Earn Your Leisure.
Yes,
Earn Your
sir.
Leisure. They were two guys just like me and you. And Earn Your Leisure is a financial literacy page that teaches people how to earn their leisure time. A lot of
Mm,
people, they want to travel, they want to do nothing, they want to live a certain lifestyle, but you have to earn that through making
yes,
proper
sir.
investments and having proper assets. Now, the team at Earn Your Leisure, they used to bring in different people that ran different businesses. If somebody ran it up on the Amazon website, they'll have them talk about that.
Yep.
If somebody ran it up through Forex, they'll have them talk about that. Somebody ran it up through buying some box trucks and scaling that up, they'll have them come in and talk about that. Wall Street Trapper, he was running it up with the stocks. So he had him come in and talk about that. And from them inviting Wall Street Trapper, from them inviting Ian Dunlap and retaining Ian Dunlap, I've learned so much about business and so much about the stock market specifically. Because I was already in entrepreneurship based business before I was introduced to the guys. Now, being able to hear the guys over at Earn Your Leisure, they have phenomenal plans about how to invest in stocks the proper way the proper way. And when it
Hmm.
comes down to it, you want to make sure you find a solid page like this one or like that one and get that mentorship on a weekly basis, really on a weekly basis, weekly or monthly basis at least. So you can be able to get that information, take it in, and like I always say, apply that information. So when it comes to getting into the stock market, you know that you're not just, oh, let me invest in this because it looked cool. No, you're doing some research. You're trying to figure out how much market cap they got. You're trying to figure out how much debt they got. You're trying to figure out how much money they have on hand for research and development. Because
Yep.
there's some companies that you can go out there and invest in that they have no money to invest in their company to make a better product. So
Come
now you
on now.
just put your money in the garbage. Versus if you invest your money in a company like Apple, who has billions of dollars available
Hmm.
for research and development, you know that your money's going towards
It means
a
they're
good
always
product.
growing. It means they'll always
Definitely.
grow.
You got to find some solid individuals. We're going to go ahead and hop into the book of Dennis Kimbrough. Today, Dennis Kimbrough, we're going to talk about his book that he created called The Wealth Choice. Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. Now, the page that I'm going to today is going to be page number 101. We're talking about the time, we're talking about the present, the past, and the future. Now, within this, he was talking about how to take advantage of the past by looking at the different ways that money was used at the time,
Mm,
looking at different patterns from 50 years ago, looking
mm.
at the present to seeing if that is happening right now, and planning out in the future and being proactive for those things happening again. When the
Sounds
pandemic
philosophy
happened
to
with
me.
the coronavirus was not the first pandemic that made a lot of things shut down. The Spanish flu happened with that before.
Yep.
With America creating a fiat currency that's continuing to dwindle in value, it's not the first time that it's happened. It's
Hmm.
happened with Germany before. So, being able to find someone that you can listen to take that information, looking at the past, seeing how things went, looking at the present, looking at the current state to be able to make a proactive decision for your better future is a very good mindset and approach to have in business and finance.
Yes, sir. And you know what, brother? I think that book, and you were telling me about that yesterday, man. I think that book, I went and did some research on it. I think that that's huge. And like I was just saying, that ain't number philosophy, bro. Like right now, my little brother, he's in a philosophy class, and
Mm,
when he comes home and he talks about philosophy, man, he talks a lot about the way other people think about things and how it dictates you, or how other people think
yep.
about things and how you think about how they think about it dictates the way you do things. How many times do we come
Ooh,
with anything? How many times do we think about how somebody else does something and we make our decision for ourselves based on how we think somebody else thinks about it? But in
yep.
reality, they don't even think about it that way. But because we think they think about it that way, we're creating an imbalance within ourselves, and we're not able to execute on certain things that we need to execute on. So I
Someone's
think
talking to
that's
you
huge.
and they talking to you like this instead of talking to you regular, you automatically thinking that they got a problem with you.
Come
So
on.
now you're shutting down and you're assuming that it's a problem. So now you don't even want to talk to them about what you want to talk to them about. But they don't even got a problem with you. They just talk loud or they're excited.
Man, that is that joke is crazy, bro. Man, the more like we study and we talk about this stuff, man. I just evaluate like the way I think about things and the way, the first thing I think it's important. It's something I do therapy. So for, what I'm saying, for anybody who listening, I definitely encourage therapy because it allows an unbiased opinion about how you make decisions. And a lot of times while I'm, what I'm saying, like in therapy, and they're talking about certain things, and they're saying, like, what's the first thought you thought about when you thought about that? So if,
Mm,
for instance, like, let's say you look at something, and this, I started taking real pride, and I started, man, really caring, like, really, man, for real, pat myself on the back, because small wins really create a strong house. But like, really pat myself on the back, because every time I was looking at something, I was figuring out how to make money from it. You feel what I'm saying? And so
mm,
it's like, that book is so important because it allows you to be able to change the way you look at things, the way you
yep,
look at money, the first time you get your check, what's the first thing you think when you get it? You feel what I'm saying?
exactly.
And I
Right.
think that
Do,
that's
do, do you
huge.
think about paying yourself first, or do you think about paying your bills first?
Or if you have, for me, budget plans. So like with my money, I may think about paying my bills first, only because that's a part of my budget plan. My budget is 50, 30, 20. So I know
Hmm.
that as soon as I get my check, I'm putting 50 away for bills, I'm putting 30 away for investments, I'm putting 20 away for wants. I know I taught y'all a kind of different system last week, but that was only because, and I like the one that you shared on the page this past week, where it talked about actually putting the investments first. But I only showed the other side first because I wanted to make it a very easy switch from being a consistent consumer into starting to generate producer like habits. You feel what I'm saying?
That's right.
But at the same time, the first thing I'm thinking about is that budget plan. So when I get my money, I'm thinking, okay, this money goes here, this money goes here, this money goes here, off the rip. You feel what I'm saying? And I think that that's very important, that we start changing the way we think about things when we first get a hold of them. One of the main things I always say about relationships is, you gotta love me the first time through. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
I don't want your love after it's got down. After it's the third time we didn't try it. You talk about third time's a charm. I want to be able to both come in this thing dope. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And if it ain't
exactly.
that way, I don't know if I want it. You know what I'm saying? But
It's all about
um,
the time of execution, because like when you get information, the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is their willingness to change. There's something
mm,
called a a teachability index. I also learned this from Kevin Trudeau. This is what the teachability index is: your willingness to change, and also your willingness to take in new information. As soon as you say, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know that, even if you do know it, but as soon as you still, I know, you don't. Your teachability index goes down, and it actually closes you off and it puts you blinders on to not being exposed to new money. When I was talking to Mr. Sims, my mentor this week, he said, Lamont, you got peripheral vision. You can see opportunities in your peripheral. Just like that running back or that basketball player, you can see what's going on right here.
yep,
Peripheral vision. But a lot of people, they got them blinders on. And when they got them blinders on, they just so focused on that one thing that they're used to that they're not open to new possibilities. So when
man,
you get when you hear about a new possibility, take them blinders off and investigate that new opportunity. Research that new opportunity, because you never know that if you apply that information, that may just be the one that reaches you to your financial freedom. It may just be the one that take you to the place that you want to go and have you living the lifestyle that you desire to live.
facts.
So how fast can you take that information that you are getting and apply it into your life? If somebody's saying right now that, oh, well, I ain't got no way to make extra money, I got to make some more money. Okay, go to Dollar Tree. Go buy 10 products that you think you can sell for $3 a piece. Those 10 products, $1.25 times 10, that's gonna run you about 15, 16 bucks or so. You take that and you flip those 3 times 10, you're gonna make about 30 bucks. Now you take that and you reinvest it and you just continue to repeat that cycle and over again. But how fast will you take that information and actually apply it to do it?
Or, like you said, with the teachability index is the willingness to change. Will you take your dollar into that dollar store and will you go in there with a mindset to increase your revenue, or will you go in
No,
there?
because I don't shop at Dollar Tree and I don't know how to use
Facts.
the internet. You have to
Facts.
have a teacher. You have to have such a willingness to change that if something gonna help you make more pay, and if you don't usually do it, you're gonna do it. You're gonna
Yep.
learn it. You're gonna do what it has to take.
Yeah. You're gonna make those changes, and you're gonna attempt to learn about the changes that need to be made, even if you're not comfortable about the changes. There's a lot of things that within my lifetime I had to become comfortable with that change. I had to learn more about it. I had to listen to people like bro said. I had to tap in with these different mentors and these different people who were gonna allow me to feel more comfortable about. I tell you what, I never was comfortable about talking about finances until I started to learn about until I start to learn and start actually doing these things and start becoming a part of the stuff that I wanted to learn more about. I had to stick my toe in and invest in Apple and invest in a little bit of Target, and just those different companies
Mhm.
that I started to learn like how their companies worked with the market. And then I also had to learn from my mentors, what do the rich even use the market for? Because
Right.
y'all may think that it's just a buy a share and just watch the equity grow within the share. But that's not what the millionaires who get into the stock market even get into it for.
A
And you
lot of
can take
millionaires.
those same systems that they do with millions and billions of dollars and do them with your hundreds and your thousands. And guess what? That same system will over time turn into millions. But
That's
you
right.
got to be willing to learn those different things and open your mind up, have a willingness to change and learn information that allows you to change.
Quan, would you say that the longer that it took you to change from the valuable information that you've gotten, the longer that it took you to apply that, it actually took you longer to get the result that you wanted?
The deeper hole I jumped in. Like it's almost like the more I waited and was like, I'll check it out next week, or I'll do it next time, or and don't get me wrong, sometimes I've been inconsistent, sometimes I've, what I'm saying, fell off, and sometimes I've, but me jumping in and being locked in and like you said, execute, man. As soon as I got a hold of some new finances and some new opportunities to make money, I immediately called the financial advisor, like, hey, I need guidance with this. Instead of me waiting and saying, let me make a couple of dollars and you know get
Right.
comfortable with it, get me a pair of shoes, do my thing. You know what I'm saying? I said, no, let me get with bro right now. Let me not waste no time. Not let me not, you know what I'm saying? Say I gotta go here. Then nope. Let me just go ahead and knock it out now. And then
Mhm.
just from there, I was able to implement a system that helped me grow those same finances and become more effective in my household and around my people and in the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes,
man, you
sir.
know what I'm saying? Like that's, I mean, it's huge when it comes to just executing and trusting yourself and
Mhm.
understanding that execution comes from the ability of reps. So, and we go back to sports. I won't even do football this time. I'll talk about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, or no, let's talk about Steph Curry, because we're going to talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
someone whose shot percentage is absolutely ridiculous. And why is his shot percentage absolutely ridiculous? Because Steph Curry shoots hundreds and thousands of jump shots the day of the game. But guess what? Not only is he doing that the day of the game, he's doing that the whole week. So by the time he gets to the game, this is a routine process. So in order for you to become Steph Curry when it comes to the investments, you have to make knowledge and learning and building and changing your mindset a routine process. You got to keep shooting them jump shots in order to make that big time shot in the game winning shot, because it's going to be an opportunity. I'm telling you. I'll tell you the first opportunity. The first opportunity for some of us may be after week continue to invest in that stock, and the equity of that company keep growing, and then guess what? They have a stock split. When they have that stock split,
Whoo,
it's time for us to run it up. That's the big time jump shot. And
money.
for all of us that don't know what a stock split is, it's when the company cuts shares in half and they start making things a lot more affordable for people to acquire shares in their company and acquire ownership in their company without it being a crazy price. Because as you know, once the market starts to grow and that company starts to grow, what happens? People aren't able to invest. When Amazon went up to
Hmm.
what was it, $3,000 about 2 years
It
ago,
was up
or
there.
like $2,000,
It was
because
up
they
there.
kept adding new companies to Amazon. After a while, a lot of people couldn't acquire one share because it started getting too expensive. What did they do? They created a stock split, and that's why now you should be able to invest in Amazon for somewhere around what? Somewhere around 150 to 300. I haven't checked
Hmm.
Amazon. I haven't checked the Amazon in a minute because they're not really a company of mine in which I study right now, but it will be. But at the end of the day, that's just me giving y'all some game on stock splits and just
Hmm.
on overall, just executing in the information. Create those, take them jump shots every day. Learn about it. If you're not comfortable with it, take the jump shots and then take the small free throws. Start investing in small stocks. The investment in small stocks may not be something that you're doing for the actual get money process. It may
Hmm.
actually be just for you to create a habit. Or for some people, when they're trying to build their credit, they do self. If for some of y'all that know about self is it's a credit building app that you can download that just to just to build your credit. All you do is you download that app, you tell them how much you can pay monthly, you set up that plan with them, and then you continue to pay them monthly and you build your credit. And then guess what happens? When you're done, they give you the money back.
Wow.
They give you the money back. So you're building credit and you're utilizing something that allows you to start taking those free throws, taking those routine layups, and then at the end, guess what you get to do? You get to get your money back. Okay.
Now,
So just something small like that, man. Create those routine jump shots, man. Do your best to lock in to what you say you're gonna do.
I say that that will lead us to our would you rather, because there's a lot of people
Uh,
that's in position to where they've been taking these financial repetitions since they were 8 years old.
mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah.
other people that's just started to take those financial repetitions at 25 years old or 28 years old.
Mm.
With that being said, my would you rather is, would
Yeah.
you rather
Yes.
have been a part of a silver spoon family to be able to take advantage of the knowledge from these money mentors, being able to apply that information sooner? Or would you rather have come from a family that's from poverty, that had to build it up all the way from the lowest level and grind their way up to the top? What you think about that? You
I,
rather be from a wealthy family or or be from a family of
Ooh,
poverty?
yikes. So I'm gonna say, and we talked about this, and it's man, it's such it's that's a tough question because as I was thinking about it last night, just going over it throughout the week, I was like, you know what? I would rather come from a rich family. Then I'm like, well, damn, how would I know about this if I don't? But that brings me to my answer, and my answer would be come from a rich family. Why? Because winners teach winner habits. You feel what I'm saying? And the thing is maybe coming from that rich family, you won't know what it feels like to start from the bottom and build your way up. But because that family has become wealthy, somebody started from the bottom. It don't just fall in your lap. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody has
Yeah.
to take the plan, implement the plan, be consistent at the plan, and then teach the next person the plan. And then they implement it, they lock in, and then they teach somebody. Then they implement, then they lock in, then they teach somebody. Then the next, and the next, and the next.
And if
So
somebody mess up within that time, then all the wealth is gone.
ain't that crazy? But the crazy thing is because those great winner habits were being taught from the beginning, they'll be able to fix that mistake. And another thing, guess what? when you in winner mode, the only thing you ever think about is winning. So even when you lose, the next step is to win. So
Right.
I come from the bottom. And if I make a mistake and we're in positions now where we like, okay, yeah, we like where we, you know what I'm saying? We like what we've built ourselves up to. We like some of the things we've done with finance. We like some of the things we've done with our investments and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if I mess up on an investment, I'm like, dang, I shouldn't have did that. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Now, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not all the time. You feel what I'm saying? But just honestly, from my mindset, dang, sometimes it's like, damn, I don't know if I even want to do that. Because but those winners, those Fords, those Rothschilds, those certain families that are used to winning and doing winner stuff, when they mess up, they just think about the next win. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. You just keep the blueprint in the family, and the blueprint that's created, you just go back to the blueprint. You don't have to think about
Hmm.
it like when we playing DB. If you lose a rep, we don't say our whole game doesn't isn't dictated off that one play.
Hmm.
We go back to the technique that we worked all week. So being a winner gets other winners to become winners. I mean, gets other people to become winners as well. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with the winner vibes and just pass on the winner vibes. What about you, brother?
Honestly, talking to my girl about this question, um, first, I said that I'd rather come from a family of poverty. You know, growing up the way that I grew up in Detroit, my mom never really making nothing more than like $40,000 a year and stuff like that, not getting Jordans when I want to. Like I was smooth, but I wasn't getting the new James and stuff like that. We weren't riding caddies. I wasn't
I
getting
was coming
the
big shot,
PS2 as soon as it came out. You know what I'm saying? So like,
big shacks.
uh, big
Sick
dunk
as
man.
hell. Big ass
You
shoes.
feel
I
me?
was sick as hell.
So when it comes down to it, like I value where I came from, and I felt like it gave me grit in order to make
Yeah.
good decisions.
Hmm.
It gave me grit in order to be a good person. But as I continue to ascend in my knowledge, we think a lot of people think that people with money aren't good people. A lot of people think that people with a lot of money don't make good decisions
Or that
or
they
don't
don't
have
have grit.
don't have grit. And that's completely
Completely
false.
false.
That's completely false. Even though you come from a wealthy family with a quote unquote silver spoon, you still got to work for yours. But what do you have to work for? You have to work for your mentality to make sure that you're mentally strong, to take all the pressure and stress.
Yep.
You have to continue to build up your intelligence and vocabulary in order to speak and act the right way.
Yep.
You have to be able to take all the repetitions in order to make the right decisions when it comes to business or whatever field of life that you want to go into.
Big facts.
Now, of course, you may have some more advantages. Of course, you may be able to be in different rooms. But isn't that what we're doing? Isn't that why we're doing what we're doing? We
Facts.
want our family to be in these positions. And we
Facts.
want our children to never have to want for anything for real. We
Hmm.
want them to have better opportunities than we have had.
Cause it's
So
a
I'll
thing
take
though.
the silver spoon for sure. I'll take the
Facts.
silver
You
spoon
feel
because
me?
I would have known more things to get more money at an earlier age. And if
Come
I could
on.
have ran it up at an earlier age, at this age now, I could be doing more of what I love, more of what I'm passionate about, and more of what I'm purposeful about.
Yep.
And a lot
Yep.
of people, they're grinding up to that financial freedom point, doing things that they don't love, doing things that they do not enjoy. And we wait and put our passions and joys and loves on a back burner until we actually get that amount of money that we want to make. But if we actually had that amount of money right there in the bank account, we can start to make that company that we like to, make those
Whew.
bathing suits that we like to, go on that trip that we like to, and expand our mind to different people and different cultures like we like to. Learn a new skill, learn how to play the piano, learn how to cook better, and be a chef. You see, when it comes to having wealth, wealth gives you the opportunity to become more of what you want to be.
Hmm.
Money, money is an amplifying tool. It will
Facts.
either amplify, if you're a bad person, it will amplify you and give you more opportunity to do bad things.
Yep.
And if you're a great person, money will amplify you and give you more opportunity to do good things.
Yes, sir.
So let's get this money and let's be wealthy. Let's have some assets. Let's make sure that our children can have better decisions and choices than us, and they can focus on their passion. Because when I just went to go see Gran Turismo, which is a true story, the Gran Turismo movie that just came out about this dude named Jan that used to stay on a Gran Turismo racing simulator playing that PlayStation video game. All he wanted to do was be a race car driver. And his dad discouraged him from being a race car driver because they didn't have money to invest into him to be a race car driver. But when he had the opportunity to actually become one, he did it.
Mm,
And Jan has driven in over 200 races now, professional
wow.
races.
Wow.
But our children usually do not have the opportunity and the finances to become race car drivers. Growing up, when I went to Belleville High School, I was on the swimming team, the baseball team, the wrestling team, the track team, the football team. That's another sport that I wanted to do to add to my repertoire. Hockey. Why couldn't I play hockey? Because it was expensive. But if my parents had the money to pay for me to play hockey, who would have known? That could have been my thing.
Hey, real deal
I could have been
spill,
one of the black dudes in the NHL right now. But
man.
my parents did not have that pay to invest into me to become a hockey player. So I'll take silver spoon all day.
Hey, I'll give you a crazy story about that. When I played soccer when I was a young dog, I was one of the best soccer players in Michigan, bro. And
Wow.
yes, bro. And because it was gonna cost me $3,500 to play for Team USA, my people was like, find another sport. So I ended up finding football. I
Wow.
was one of the best players in Michigan, bro. I
Bro,
was
you
getting
could be
asked
Agape right now getting
for real.
getting 725 million for 2 years, bro.
Seriously, bro. But I ended up picking up a sport that has my body finished at 30 years old. Half of the time I can hardly walk up the stairs because football is such a crazy physical sport. But it's a cheaper sport to get into. But if you think about it, I mean, golly, imagine the big sport and the big reach that soccer has. The brand that I have now through football, if it was through soccer, it's no telling how big that brand would be because the numbers that see soccer versus the numbers that see American football are crazy. In American football is the number one sport, but in the world, it's soccer. And at the end
Facts.
of the day,
Cristiano Ronaldo, bro, he got 600 million followers, bro.
man.
600 million.
So imagine how much reach he has business wise.
Hella.
Bro, he has the opportunity. Let's think about it like this right now when we talk
Oh,
about
I'll tell you what
assets and
happened.
money.
He had a Coca-Cola right here and he had a water right here. And he decided, like, he was like, what I'm about to pick. He picked the water. That day Coca-Cola stock was going down from his followers seeing that decision. Like, yeah, Coke is bad for you. Drink water.
So understand that yes, we love coming from the mud. We love the fact that we got the opportunity to come from the mud, see different things, see bad experiences with money, see great experiences with money. We seen guys run up 500,000 in 10 weeks and then not have nothing in 16 weeks. We've seen it all. We love the growth in our process, but understand that greatness breeds greatness. You feel what I'm saying? A seed planet is a seed planet. If I plant a seed of greatness, I'm only getting greatness out of that. So if we're able
Facts.
to plant seeds of greatness, if we're able to change the way our family is looked at instead of being a come from the mud product, if we change the way our kids are seen as to, oh, this kid was taught financial literacy, this kid was taught how to do this kid was taught how to carry themselves in certain meetings in certain business,
Yeah.
how to put presentations together, how to approach conversation, how to approach sales, how to use certain strategies. Because seriously, how many times, and you do sales and you know sales, how many times have you looked at something and said, dang, had I just used that small formula that they taught me in the office with a certain sale, that's the difference between what is one of the main things in sales, creating the opportunity. I mean, what is it? To miss out.
FOMO.
Yeah, fear of missing out. You know what I'm saying? That's a strategy that if you use that in sales, that could be the difference between you getting someone to come to your whatever it is that you're trying to have, and them saying, you know what, I'm gonna go to the one down there. If you say, man, we got the hottest people in the city coming down, they're gonna teach you this, and this. If you
And you
don't
won't want
come,
to miss
you will
this.
miss out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tell you, when I'm training and I'm dropping stuff, I'm like, look, this person is getting six figures just to put on his cleats. if you don't want to learn, if you don't want to get paid 6 figures to put on your cleats, don't come train with me. But if you want to get 6 figures to come put on your cleats, come train with the person who's getting people to put on their cleats and get 6 figures. You feel what I'm
You feel
saying?
me? This where you need
That's
to
simple.
be.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's just that simple. And just from that, that makes people say, you know what? Or guess what? The content. The more content you post, people will think they're missing out because they're not where you at. But where you at is where it's happening.
Facts.
Create the where it's happening.
Ooh, say that one more time. I like how you put
Create
that.
the where it's happening. Create.
Create the where it's happening.
You can create the
Hey,
where it's happening, then you can create something that will continue building.
and you know where it's happening? It's happening right here with our financial awakening. Because each
You
week we about
feel
to
me?
be bringing you new heat, new conversations, new business ideas,
New
new business
vibes.
ideals and philosophies, new vibes. That's right. That's right. New
Cause it's the new
shirts.
vibe. You feel what I'm saying? New shirt.
we took the t-shirts off. We on button ups this week. You feel
Oh
me?
God, we were serious this week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's been a great episode, man. Let's go over things. Um, what's some things you want to leave with the people? Anything you want to reiterate that you talked about earlier?
Man, I think those stages that you dropped earlier, I think those were major. I think making sure that you understand what you know and what you don't know, being humble enough and holding yourself accountable so that you're able to be effective. You know what I'm saying? Don't waste time trying to be the smartest person in the room. Use all your time trying to learn from the people in the room. If you spend more time trying to learn than you do actually, you know what I'm saying you don't need no help, then you'll be a lot further along. You know what I'm saying? Find that mentor, find somebody that you trust. Lock in with books, man. Like, because if anything, if you feel like some of these people don't stand for what you stand for, it's nothing to read a book and then implement that information in your life the way you see fit. You know what I'm saying? So,
That's right.
you know,
With that being said, I want to piggyback, and this is what I want to leave you guys with. Everybody doesn't live the lifestyle that we like to live, but we can learn from rich people or poor people. You can learn from everything and everyone. And it's important to be able to take in information and decipher and pick out what you desire. Now, when it comes to actually achieving something, it's a step by step thing. Don't be skipping stuff, all right?
yep,
But when it comes to information, if you don't like that person, if you don't like Eric Thomas, if he says something dope, just take that one thing great that he said. If you don't like listening to the information from um white guys because you just don't, just
fact.
take what it well if you don't like to listen to Grant Cardone because you don't like the way that he talk or treat people or whatever, take whatever valuable information that he has and
Because he
apply it to your
definitely
life.
made about what? How much million on that one show? That was crazy.
Bro, Grant Cardone gets the bank, bro. And a lot of people, we look at people like a Henry Ford that may have been a racist that didn't like Jewish people or black people or whatever. But Henry Ford's company that he created has put a lot of people that look like you and me through college, has put a lot of food on the table, has supported a lot of people through
Facts.
healthcare wise. We have to be able to take the bigger picture and macro, get our feelings up out of it when it comes
Yep.
to this money and being able to learn. Because I was listening to somebody that said, and I forgot who said it. I believe, actually, I know exactly who said it. It was Cam Newton talking to 19 Keys. That when a black man say to another black man, "F you," it's a big deal. But when a white man say to another white man, "F you," they still making money together because they put their feelings to the side.
That's why they came up with the term business isn't personal. You feel me? How many times have we been in
It's
positions
not
where
personal, it's just business.
you feel what I'm saying? Hey, they sit up here
Like,
and eat
bruh.
dinner with you, and they're like, and you like, hey, bro, I, I just got a subpoena from you in the mail. Why are you talking about, hey, what's up, bro? And he like, look, bro, it's your insurance company. They're not even charging you. Let me get this million. I'll break you off.
Facts.
Like what we talking about right now? Like you and your feelings because you know what I'm saying? They may be saying this, that, and the third, but at the end of the day, they finna pay me $3 million just because of a loophole that I could take advantage of, and I'm gonna make sure that you taken care of because it's kind of putting you up under the bus a little bit, but I'm gonna make sure you still get paid. And it's a lot of
Facts.
people that reap benefits from that. I mean, we see it all the time. I forgot what movie it was where the dude was suing him, but he still showed up to his house like 2 days later, and dude was like, "What are you doing
Facts.
here?" And he like, "Bro, I'm killing the insurance." Now, granted, it still was kind of weird because it was like his best friend, but it was like at the
Mhm.
same time, he was like, "Bro, I'm trying to get paid. Shit, you want to get paid? Shit, just ask. I'll give you a couple dollars too, but
Bro,
I ain't
it
gonna
is
pass up on the
mental.
opportunity."
It's mental athletics. If
Mm,
me and you a cornerback, I most of the time play offense, you know. I've been doing some work, as you can see, running routes and stuff, playing flag football. If me and you start doing one-on-ones right now, and you start to get the best of me, or if I start to get the best of you, it's F you, bro. I'm gonna talk stuff. Like, "Quan, I didn't
yep,
like how you made an interception on me." But guess what?
yep.
That's within that realm of sports. When it comes to our personal relationship, we gonna be good.
And this the great part about that though. With you winning reps and me winning reps, guess what? We just got 30 times better.
Yes, we did.
So for the
Ooh.
same person who may be suing dude, and you may be like, damn, what you doing? Now you know the process. So now guess what? You back up into that car. You know what I'm saying?
And when it
You
comes
know the
down to it, the
process,
next
you know
person that
what
try to hit you with
lawyers.
litigation, you learned from that situation. Then you know how to move in it.
Nah, the next time you do it, yeah, I mean, because everybody does it with finance. We ain't telling y'all to do nothing illegal or, you know what I'm saying, do something against your insurance companies. That's not what we pushing. But what we are saying is there is a lot of opportunities out here to make money based on you taking your feelings out of things and just implementing. Like, for instance, if we talk about investing in some type of company or whatever the case may be, if you don't like the company and you don't like I said, it's a lot of people who say a lot about Elon Musk. And I don't really know Elon Musk from his personal life. But I know that Elon Musk is a fucking innovator, and I'm an innovator, and I want to learn from innovators who are successful. So guess what? I'm not paying attention to his skin color. I ain't paying attention to what he's talking about when it comes to a certain group of people. I'm paying attention to
No,
what
bro, he
he's
smoked
saying to
weed
a
on
market.
Joe Rogan. You're not supposed to do that as a businessman. He is CEO and he on Joe Rogan podcast smoking weed. No, I can't even listen to bro.
Get high, chief, because obviously it's
You're
helping
doing something
you.
right.
As a matter of fact, pass it here. Because
Right.
it's something that I need, and that may be the spark that I need, guys.
You feel me? No wonder why he making a rocket ship. See up
Yeah,
there.
he's already there. You know what I'm saying?
Already there. Ooh, already there.
Yeah, feel me.
Already there. Hey man, it's been great. It's been a great one.
Yes, sir.
It's been an absolute great one.
What
For
about you,
real,
bro?
for real.
Anything else you wanted to lead off with, man, before we get out of here? Anything you wanted to lead the viewers with as far as what we went over today?
No, that's it for real, man. That's really it. Besides looking at the past, reviewing everything, looking at the present, seeing where everything is currently, so you can know where you're going to be going in the future. And that's what we're looking at: business trends, business opportunity, the way that things work within the world, because they'll help you to have a good idea, to be proactive. A lot of people, they're reactive. That when something happens to them, they're responding to it or reacting to it, but you want to be proactive to where you can actually see and have the vision for the future, see what's about to happen, and make moves according to it. So, for example, when I just lost my wallet, not lost, when somebody went inside of my car and took my wallet that had my cards and cash and stuff on it, I have no access to get money for my cards. But for me being proactive and saving in cash a few times throughout the month, I had funds to be able to
Emergency
use
fund.
instantly at that time. Back to the emergency fund. Back to episode number, what was it? Episode number 2 last week of what we were talking about. So be proactive, people. Let's get it. It's been Lamar Howard, aka Tank, aka the Knowledge Bang with.
And your boy No Fear Quan from No Fear Elite LLC and Fearless Financials. Let's roll
Yes, sir. And this is our
our
financial
financial awakening.
awakening.
Let's
Let's
get
go,
to
man.
it.
I hope y'all have a beautiful week. We'll tap in with y'all again next week. Stay smooth. Share this video. Like this video. Follow us on Instagram at our financial awakening. We're going to be continuing to get it in, build a stronger community, a more vibrant community, bring you guys everything that has to do with money and making more paper because we want to put more of it in your pockets.
We're
Let's go.
creating a new black market, y'all. So just stay tuned, man. It's gonna be a lot of money circulating around. Make sure y'all check in with the Instagram this week, man. We will be hopping on live. Now we'll probably be hopping on live from our Instagram pages. But we will definitely. I probably we might go live on the page, both pages. We might go live. I might hop on my page and then have another phone pop up, and we might hop on our Instagram page as well. But stay tuned. Watch our pages at no fear underscore Quan and
Oh, and Tank TKB. Let's get it.
yes, sir.
Hey, y'all have a phenomenal night. Y'all stay beautiful. Peace until next time.
Peace.